Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? This is Natt. Today is Wednesday, the 14th of April. Hope everybody is well. So I'm currently joining you from Cabo, Mexico. So I've never been here before. I was talking about my Instagram story last night. I'll talk about it again. This is one of those places that I've always seen on American TV shows. Everyone always talking about they're going Cabo for the weekend. Let's go Cabo. And it is as good as it seems. I only got here last night, had a nice sleep, but boy, oh boy, you can actually hear the ocean from my room. So before the video ends, I'm gonna show you that in a minute. But yeah, guys, I am here for the next week or so. And then of course, we're heading over to Dallas for that nice event that I hope to see. I think we've got over 100 people so far for this event. So we're gonna make this a real special moment in Astro's history. So for those that are planning to come, you know, if you can't come, don't worry about it. This is the point of Astro. Now that lockdown's open again, we've got so many worldwide events coming up. And so this is the Dallas event, and we've got the next event in October, hopefully happening in Bali, which you guys will get an email about. You haven't got one yet, we're just working on it. And then there'll be other events planned across the world. This is what Astro wanted, was these worldwide events. Now lockdown is slowly coming to an open. Of course, London is open again, which I'm looking forward to going back to and having a nice meal inside a restaurant. But anyway, let's get back to today's video and let's talk about what's happening in the market. So we've actually got some interesting things to talk about right now. So let me share my screen. So where should we start? Well, let's start with data, shall we? So I've had a Forex Factory. So yesterday, if you look here, we had USD CPI, this is Consumer Price Index, come out better than expected for both CPI and core CPI. Now, if you guys remember what I was talking about for the past few days, I'm starting to change my view on dollar quite a lot because I've assumed dollar will be quite firm because of all the good data coming out, GDP, non-farm payroll, unemployment rate, CPI coming out well. It's not affecting the markets. Now, when this happens and the data and the market do not align, it basically means that people are not having, the big institutions and big players in the market are not having much faith in the dollar. Now, this could be because it's overextended, overexhausted, or for some reason, the good data is not moving the markets, which means that bad data will instantly move the markets now. So this is giving a lot of opportunities to a lot of other pairs. Now, dollar index, I kept talking about, guys, if this thing dips below 92, dollar will be toast. And as you can see, it's dipping below 19.2. And I've got a strong feeling it's going to remain below this and dip further. So the further this goes down, guys, we have a very, very weak dollar, which means risk is on. So if you go to 10-year treasury yields, now something important happened over, I think it was over the weekend, where there's a 30-year bond auction and a lot of bonds got bought. Now, when a lot of bonds get bought, the yield goes down. It's a bit like supply and demand. So that's the reason that you've seen the yields from 1.7% go down to nearly 1.6%. Again, this is not crazy, but this is the reason that the yields is down. We've got dollar index, which is down. And if you look at euro, because obviously remember it's the opposite of dollar index, we have got that now breaking new highs. So remember I was talking about potentially, if I continue to think the dollar data would come out well, this thing would fall. However, now starting to change my view on the dollar overall because said even CPI coming out yesterday could not push the dollar in the correct way. So 1.946 was a very, very important level. For you guys that have been following me for a while, I've had this level drawn up for some time. Now, as you can look here, it's been a massive level of resistance in the past for this pair. Now, if you look here, you know, you could consider this a break, but what I always like to do is look back in history and think, okay, the highs were 1.199. So I'm definitely not shorting this pair. I definitely do not recommend going against dollar. That's my advice for today. But we can see if there's an opportunity for this thing to continue to push long, or could we get a repeat what happened last time where it consolidates for a while and then maybe that dollar strength will kick in. But for now, for today, dollar is weak. And as you guys can see, easily reflecting there. Remember, I was talking about a break either side of this wedge. Again, based on dollar strength, it will come down. Based on dollar weakness, it will go up. And look at that dollar weakness. Bang, we're back at 0.77 as a key level. And again, a very significant key level that is. So this thing breaks. I can see going a lot further. For you guys that you know, watched or have been a part of the online Astro course, the target for me would be the second touch of this descending trend line, which is 0.785. So if this thing continues to break, guys, we're heading back up towards there. USD CAD, even though, you know, I'm telling you that the dollar is weak, still not the most significant move, but maybe it's starting to push down now. So USD CAD, if this dollar weakness continues, back down to 1.245, we are going to go. And cable. So cable's an interesting one because, you know, I'm still seeing that this thing overall is extended. Remember, since October, it's extended. But with a weak dollar, could that be pushing the pound up slightly? Now, this whole area here, I'm going to draw this whole area on for you here. This whole area here. Remember, we're not trying to look at it too much on a smaller time frame. So even if we were to go to a daily, this whole move here is what I'm thinking is the potential break of this trend line to the downside. And I'm still sticking to it being an overall downwards move. However, can't fight dollar weakness. Dollar weakness is across the board. Dollar weak, risk being on. That means obviously a lot of money is being pumped into equities and other various things. So could this potentially go back up to 1.38? The furthest I see this thing going, the furthest is 1.4, but that's an extreme example. I personally feel like a bit of consolidation, and we're going to have to wait. The Fed's doing a economic talk in Washington later today, and there's other Fed official talking too. So it'd be interesting to see what the Fed say, but for now, there's a few interesting things going on. Of course, the Johnson & Johnson story is quite big now. Is there potentially something, you know, being spoken about with the vaccination, Johnson & Johnson having a problem, which has obviously been given out to a lot of America. And we also, I do feel like the people that were backing the dollar, they certainly started to take profit on that, and that's obviously making the dollar weak. But overall, as you guys can see, USD JPY, dollar yen returning back to the previous consolidation it was trapped within. So overall, it's just dollar weak across the entire board. So for anybody trading, just keep that in mind for today. And yeah, I'll definitely keep my eyes on this thing popping above 92 or staying below. Yields, I've told you the yield story of why this is down because of the 30-year bond auction. And that's it for today's video, guys. You know, I will be, well, let me show you my view before I go as well. So if anybody watching this, check this out. Pretty cool. But yeah, for now, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. Yeah, hopefully you found this video useful. And again, my job is to keep you one step ahead of the markets. And we did that today. Guys, I will see you tomorrow. Thanks.